selfishness.
Okay, let's play some
Kevin took their
goddamn
advice.
chess.
That I was choosing to trust a licensed professional mental health counselor and my wife, and they gave some
You
terrible
slut.
counsel.
Now, with the father out of the house, Ruby and Jody were free to parent the children as they wished. And months later,
Street
the world would
whore.
discover just how bad the situation became.
Come on, you slant-eyed slut.
Yeah.
Start the goddamn game, you goddamn son of a god. Start the goddamn game, you goddamn son of a
This is
goddamn
Russell,
bitch. God damn
Frankie's
it.
second youngest child.
Start the goddamn game, you goddamn son of a goddamn bitch. You goddamn son of a goddamn bitch.
What's going on, son? Have a seat there.
He appeared at his neighbor's house malnourished and covered in wounds.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's, said he
Start the
just came
goddamn
from a
game, you
neighbor's house.
goddamn fucking,
He's
about
emaciated.
fucking
He's got
shit time.
tape around his legs.
His wounds were so
God,
extensive that it
fuck it.
drove the neighbors to tears.
Okay, this boy has been... This kid is always been... I think he's been...
Son of a bitch.
He's been contained. He's always been covered in wounds. He's
Come on, you
been,
goddamn son of a bitch.
What's happened to him is his fault.
We need the police here now.
Now fuck him over there.
Minutes later, police arrived at the home where Jody and the Frank family lived.
Open the door!
Suck my dick, bitch.
Jody? I need you to step out.
I am by church.
That's great. Step out of the house.
No, I'm not gonna step out.
Step out of the house. Step out of the house.
Whoa.
There we go.
Wait a minute, how do you come in my house?
Right there.
The scene inside was eerie.
I'm a police officer. Are you going for the union? Hey, you okay?
God
Is
damn
this
it.
you in here? I'm Sergeant Tobler. What's your name? I just have
Come
one.
on, fucking son of a bitch.
Where's your sister at? You okay?
This was one of Ruby's children, hiding and unresponsive
Suck my
inside the
dick.
bathroom closet.
Do you need help? I'm not gonna hurt you. Promise. See
God
this right here?
fucking damn it.
It's a badge. And it tells me I don't hurt people. I'm just here to make sure you're okay. And I get you if you're scared. I would be too.
The child's situation brought even the most seasoned paramedics to tears. Meanwhile, another team of paramedics listened as Russell told them how he received his injuries. What they
Suck my
learned
dick,
was
bitch.
gut-wrenching. Ruby and Jody would tie up the children so tight they got rope burns. Then they applied a honey and cayenne pepper mix to cover their wounds. After that, they would wrap the limb in saran wrap and duct tape. At the house, officers try a new tactic to gain the child's trust. They ordered her pizza. Suddenly, Ruby Frank arrived home. She was immediately placed under arrest,
Okay, just place your hand on your back for me. Perfect.
but she didn't say a word.
Come on, you goddamn son of a bitch.
She on? Negative zero.
Are you gonna have to ask her a name, or just like, let me ask him about things? She looks at me and goes,
So
Come
they
on,
contacted
goddamn
someone
son
who
of a bitch.
would talk, her ex-husband.
So we just spoke with your husband, and he said you guys have 6 kids.
When she finally opened up, it was only to say this.
I'll wait till I have a lawyer.
Jody Hildebrandt, however, was a lot more talkative.
So I trust my attorney. He said, don't say anything. And I said,
Suck
I have
my
nothing to hide.
dick,
And he's
bitch.
like, I know that, but just let me be there with you when you talk.
Look at this fucking
Although they
goddamn
both
shit.
chose to wait for their attorneys before speaking to police, they had no trouble divulging their secrets over a recorded jail phone call.
Adults have a really hard time understanding that children can be full of evil and what that takes to fight it.
It didn't matter that they wouldn't confess. The police had more than enough evidence to put him away for life.
Both children had extensive physical injuries from the abuse. that required hospitalization when they were found.
The women's lawyers knew it was a lost cause, so they took a shortcut. They pleaded guilty. With a guilty plea, the trial wouldn't face a jury, and the most gruesome evidence would never be released to the public. On top of a guilty plea, Frank found another way to lower her sentence. She turned on Hildebrand. She claimed that she saw the light once she was separated from Hildebrand. Then she broke down in tears and addressed her victims.
To my babies. My 6 little chicks.
Suck my dick, bitch.
You were part of me.
But her children don't accept her apology.
She probably genuinely believed everything she said. I don't believe it, though.
This is the moment Ruby Frank learned her fate.
I don't believe it, though.
This is the moment Ruby Frank learned her fate.
Ms. Frankie served 4 counts, 4 1 to 15 year sentences based on her convictions for 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
Each child abuse charge carries a possible sentence of 1 to 15 years, depending on the severity. The judge made each of these charges consecutive, meaning Frank could serve up to 90 years in prison, or as little as 4. Then it was time for her partner, Hildebrand, to learn her fate.
The court imposes 4 1 to 15 year sentences to be again served consecutively for each of the 4 counts of aggravated child abuse.
This was Hildebrand's only response to her sentence.
And the children shall rise up against their parents and shall cause them to be put to death. That statement right there is what's going on with me.
Hildebrand's children will never be the same after what she did to them. But now what happens when a beloved pop star is outed for targeting 40 children? This is Austin Jones, a YouTuber musician charged with receipt of child pornography in Chicago, Illinois. Jones gained his fame from singing covers of popular songs on YouTube in the mid-2010s. With his boy band voice and familiar hairstyle, Jones quickly gained a massive following. But fame brought out a dark side in Jones, and he only showed it to a few of his fans. While on tour, Jones exchanged messages with his young teenage fans asking them to take sexually explicit videos of themselves and send them to him. When one fan refused him, this was his reply.
Hannah, I just actually really do think you're pretty, and I just wanted to make you feel special. And,
suck my dick, bitch.
And I'm sorry you're mad at me.
The fan posted his reply publicly on social media, along with her entire story. Soon, other fans corroborated her story, exposing Facebook message chats in which Jones asked the children to take their undergarments off and spread, and to prove that they're his biggest fans. A total of 6 girls between 14 and 15 came to the police with explicit videos he forced them to share. But police found evidence of him attempting to entice over 30 girls. Jones was 25 at the time. As soon as his crimes were public, Jones canceled all remaining tour dates. After weeks of silence, Jones posted a new video to YouTube recounting his side of the story.
On that drive, the only thing I did was look at my phone and look at all the hate and death threats.
He says the hate combined with his diagnosis of depression led him in a downward spiral.
That entire ride home, I read those comments and I began researching different suicide methods.
His family noticed his mood and allegedly admitted him to a mental health clinic as soon as they got back to Chicago. According to Jones, all he could think about was getting out of the hospital and saying this to his fans.
I had no internet connection, I had no connection to social media, so I couldn't put out a statement. I wanted to apologize, I wanted to confront it immediately.
In the world of YouTube apology videos, his seemed oddly complete. At least it would have been if he hadn't blatantly lied. But just 5 minutes into the video, Jones launches into this tragic backstory. He claims his sister's death, among other traumatizing events, are the reason for his perverted actions.
Losing a sibling for anybody is tragic, and going through it at such a young age was very difficult for me.
Jones's life does have many tragic elements.
About a month after my father passed away, my grandfather passed away, and I was very close to my grandfather.
Family loss is incredibly traumatic, but it can't excuse nor explain Jones's crimes. But wait, Jones isn't finished. He brings out his own poor mental health into this equation, touching on a sensitive subject that he's aware many of his fans struggle with as well.
After that happened, that's when I began self-harming. I used to my wrists.
Then Jones launches into a predictable monologue.
A few months ago, I started going back to therapy for this specific reason, because I regretted it so much, and I couldn't move past it. I couldn't stop thinking about it. I couldn't stop feeling like absolute for what I had done.
But if you're thinking the video was unbelievable so far, just wait until you hear his closing plea.
That at least some of you will possibly forgive me, and if you don't forgive me, at least maybe give me a chance, because I am so much better than the terrible decisions I made when I was desperate for attention. I'm better than that. I'm a different person. I've completely changed from all of that.
In the few weeks since he was exposed, Jones swears he's a completely different person than the man who committed those crimes, but the law didn't care. Jones was tried on child pornography charges and sentenced to 10 years in prison.
YouTube star with a large teenage following is headed to prison.
Jones's audience was shocked to see their star stoop so low. But in Vitaly Zdorovetski's case, a pair of handcuffs were long overdue. This is Vitaly Zdorovetsky, a Russian-American YouTuber who's facing charges of attempted theft, harassment, and unauthorized filming in Taguig City in the Philippines. Vitaly became famous on YouTube for his prank videos.
Man, move that out of here, man. Are you out of your mind?
At first, these pranks were harmless.
Huh? What?
What's up for?
What?
But soon enough, each video was crazier than the last. His pranks became not just uncomfortable for his victims, they became straight up illegal.
Put your hands here. Check it out, see? I'm gonna put them in the front.
Do you know me?
Do I know you? No.
Vitaly snuck onto the ground of the Hollywood sign in California, and he was gonna climb it. He continues to climb the sign, despite numerous warnings from police.
Sir, this is the Los Angeles Police Department.
I'm sorry.
Return to the bottom of the sign. Sir, do me a favor. Just go to the bottom of the sign. You're trespassing. We got units en route.
I'm coming down.
Vitaly gets hit with trespassing charges for this stunt. It cost him a $1,000 fine and a potential for 6 months of jail time, although his final sentence is undisclosed. But that's not the first time Vitaly's pranks got him into legal trouble, and it wouldn't be the last. During the 2014 World Cup in Brazil, Vitaly planned a prank that would go down in history.
Jesus fucking Christ.
He became a streaker in multiple soccer, basketball, and baseball games. But he couldn't stop there.
I want to go fly down because I think they're sending helicopters for me.
Next, he went to Egypt and climbed the Pyramid of Giza.
Absolutely breathtaking. This is incredible, guys.
The pyramid's sandy stones make climbing a potentially deadly task. No police officers could follow him up there.
I got it. I'm not gonna run.
As soon as he returned, Vitaly was thrown into an Egyptian jail. He faced fines and a short jail time, but soon enough, he was back out. This time, though, he focused on a different target: the Philippines. He plays pranks on the people, causing a public disturbance.
I'm gonna rob you if you keep walking away. I want to give you money. No, okay.
In the Philippines, causing unjust vexation and alarm is actually a crime, and so is filming a police officer without consent.
I have a very important question for you. Can I shove this up your... What? Can I put this in your...
But that's not all. Within days, Vitaly's found and arrested. This time he wouldn't get out so easily. Neither the US nor Russia would accept his deportation, so Vitaly had to go to trial in the Philippines. He faces up to 24 years in a Filipino prison. But he doesn't seem worried. Vitali maybe crossed the line he couldn't uncross, and he lost his freedom and his followers. But now what happens when a famous influencer has a very public fall from grace? This is the case of Nikita Nguyen, who's facing charges for disorderly conduct and felony battery on a peace officer in Miami, Florida.
Hi Dragons! What's up? It's Nikita and welcome back to my channel.
Nguyen, who goes by Nikita Dragon on YouTube, has more than 3.5 million subscribers.
Hi Dragons! What's up? It's Nikita and welcome back to my channel.
Nguyen, who goes by Nikita Dragon on YouTube, has more than 3.5 million subscribers. Since 2013, she had built her audience doing makeup tutorials and sharing about her life as a transgender woman. But for the most part, her videos were teen-friendly. But every year, Nikita threw a birthday party that was a little more adult. In 2022, one of those parties got a little too wild. While on vacation in Miami, hotel security guards caught Nguyen ordering a drink at a hotel bar while completely nude. But when asked to put her outfit back on, she became belligerent and ran away.
Miami Beach Police, we need to talk to you. Open the door, please.
It took minutes of knocking before she finally opened the door.
Jesus fucking Christ. Obviously not. We have to talk to you.
About the disturbance from earlier.
Oh my gosh.
And I understand you felt earlier nothing happened. But we just came here to speak to you about your incident from earlier.
You don't speak to me.
We want to let you know,
Yes?
as a collective,
Are you sorry?
I'm not sorry for anything.
Oh.
For you threw water on me, man. Alright.
Then, seconds later, Nikita opened the door again.
Did I not put you out? Do you want more?
One more company.
Don't do that. You're gonna go to jail if you do that.
If you get, you know what I'm saying? This is
Don't do that.
time,
Don't do
dog.
that.
Oops. Come on. Oh no.
She was arrested for battery on a peace officer. Surprisingly, she didn't care about any of it, except this.
Can I go this?
Please.
Can I go this?
Say please. Say please.
You're gonna escalate this.
No, I'm not. Let's go.
For absolute no reason.
Where's escalating?
She had her purse in her hands and would do anything to hold on to it.
Listen to me.
Yes.
We're giving you a lawful order.
Okay.
You are under arrest.
Okay, great.
We're asking you to let go of that.
I'm not going to.
Okay.
I'm not going to. Take it from me.
Okay. You understand that you're under arrest?
Yeah, that's fine. Take it from me.
But the situation quickly got uncomfortable.
Take the bag from the hand.
Don't do that.
I'm not. Okay, then
Don't
take it.
do that.
Okay.
There's no need for that. Don't do that. You do not have to do that. What are you doing? Can you please let go of the bag?
When the role play didn't work, she tried another tactic.
Don't make me ask somebody to smite your ass. But
Please don't do that.
keep it. Silencio. Leon. Silencio. Silencio. Silencio.
Things couldn't get more dramatic. Or could they?
Oh no. Oh. My God.
Please get out.
No, my God. I think I'm gonna have to be carried.
Please get out.
Oh.
After that, Nguyen is surprisingly compliant. The next time she opens her mouth, she said something the officers never thought they'd hear.
Thank you guys for at least letting me get ready for my mugshot. Thank you.
While waiting to be processed at the station, Nikita gave the officers a free concert. She sang a song. And another.
Take me higher. I'm not scared of the fame.
And again.
I fell into a burning of fire. I went down, 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 and the flames, they got hotter.
And one more.
You stupid motherfucker.
Man's world.
Then out of nowhere, Nikita goes off on the officer.
Damn girl, they're not even in a good way. You're built like a brick.
At least mine is real.
Yours is not real.
The officer's comeback was so brutal that Nikita immediately pulled the victim card.
Oh, you're being so mean to a trans girl. I can't believe you as a woman are not going to validate my womanhood.
You're the one that started it.
You're challenging my womanhood. Let's go. You challenging my... Sit the down. You want to challenge my womanhood? Bitch, I don't even gotta get up out of here. What's up?
If anyone's doing any invalidating, it's Nikita herself. Then she went right back to insults.
You're ugly. You're fat. Nobody wants you.
So far, Nikita has sang, yelled, insulted, laughed, and even screamed at the officers. But here's one thing she hasn't done yet.
You try a gender girl.
God damn it.
And you would question my womanhood. You made me go into the men's bathroom.
You walked right into the men's bathroom. Don't even. Don't switch anything because everything's on camera. You walked right in there. Okay, you walked right in there.
Days later, during her bond hearing, Nikita showed a surprising change of heart.
Thank you so much. I would like to thank the staff. They've been very lovely.
Alright, let me just write this out.
She was completely compliant with the judge's complaints, even thanking her for her work. But Nikita had one request for the judge.
Do I have to stay here in the men's unit still?
Yeah, I don't make the rules up there, but they should make a proper accommodation for you. You should be in a separate area.
Nguyen's disappointment was obvious, but she didn't have time to dwell on it. Nikita quickly paid her $2,000 bond and was released from jail. All charges against her were eventually dropped. In our next case, an internet guru's dirty little secret will send 6 people to jail and scar another for life. This is German Abraham Loeta Acosta, a Mexican YouTuber and motivational guru who's facing kidnapping charges in Chihuahua, Mexico. Loeta, just 23 years old, rose to fame as a motivational speaker and entrepreneur.
Mi nombre es Germán Loera, soy emprendedor y quiero compartir contigo información que quizá te haga no volver a ver el mundo con los mismos ojos. Tenemos 2 opciones, morir o innovar.
He was invited to speak in conferences around the country and quickly became one of the top rising stars of his generation. However, that all came to a crash in 2018. For years, Loeta had secretly been leading an underground kidnapping ring on the streets of Chihuahua. He and 5 other men had kidnapped various women and held them for ransom. But on February 28, 2018, Loeta made a fatal mistake. 33-year-old lawyer Tanya Denise had just left for work when 2 men grabbed her and stuffed her into an SUV. Then they drove her to a house that was being rented under Loeta's name. Together, Loeta and the men demanded over $2 million in Bitcoin for her safe return. Loeta sent many encrypted messages to her family. Using those messages, the police were able to track down the hostage takers, free Denise, and finally put the delinquents behind bars. Loeta's friends and family were shocked when they found out about his part in the kidnapping.
I just eared your room.
Sigo sin creerlo. No puedo creer esto. Lamento mucho este acto, de verdad.
He tells reporters that even though his friend had been MIA for 2 months, nothing in his behavior hinted at what he was about to do.
Sobre hacer las cosas bien, compartíamos sobre compartir cosas positivas a nuestros seguidores.
Due to a rise in kidnappings in Mexico over the past few decades, the Mexican authorities recently doubled the prison sentence for that crime, meaning Loeta was in for a nasty surprise. The judge sentenced Loeta and his goonies to 50 years each for the crime. Loeta's actions were so dumb, they're almost unbelievable. But how dumb can a person be to think that they're smarter than an entire nation? This is Daniel Sancho Bronchalo, a Spanish YouTube chef who's charged with premeditated murder, concealing a corpse, and destruction of property.
Muy buenas disfrutones, bienvenidos un día más a mi canal.
Bronchalo got famous on YouTube thanks to his recipes, good looks, and, of course, his father, Rodolfo Sancho, a famous European actor. In August of 2023, Sancho and his alleged lover, Edwin Arrieta Arteaga, flew to the tourist island of Koh Phangan in Thailand. During the trip, Sancho admits that he and Arrieta got into a fight.
To raise my voice, alright? He too, and
I stood up, and he took a few steps back.
Okay, few steps
back.
back.
And I was like speaking to him like
louder,
heavy. And I go boom. And punch him.
Later, Sancho claimed that the fight began after he refused Arieta's sexual advances.
He beat me and grabbed me, with the gun. Grab me.
Grab you. No, like,
Grab me, and I was like, I take it all the way up here.
He slammed Arieta's head against the counter, striking him at the very place where his spine meets his skull.
how to do it? Grab like, boom, okay.
Arieta immediately started to bleed out. After Arieta lost consciousness, Sancho dragged him to the shower to clean up the crime scene.
You shower me?
And I started like it was sour because there was a lot of blood coming out. I put the hottest water, so it didn't coagulate and stick.
Sancho claims the murder was an accident, but if this was an accident, why did he have trash bags and various weapons on the top bunk of their hotel room?
Getting the bags, I bring the bags, I bring the hacksaw, I bring the machete.
From there, Sancho turned Arieta face down and began to dismember him. He loaded the body parts into trash bags and dumped them at 7 different sites around the island. It's rumored that Sancho planned to commit the murder in Thailand because he believed their police force was less capable than the Spanish police force. But he was quickly proven wrong. After disposing the body parts, Sancho went to the nearest police station to report his friend missing. Little did he know, locals had already found the bags, and the police had been waiting for him. A judge deemed Sancho guilty of murder, dismemberment, and destruction of property. Because of his cooperation, the judge chose not to inflict the death penalty. Instead, he'll spend life inside of a Thai prison. Sancho heartlessly killed his lover with his bare hands. But in this next case, the killer uses quite an unusual weapon. This is Sarah Boone, charged with second-degree murder in Winter Park, Florida. Boone was in a relationship with 42-year-old Jorge Torres, and according to police reports, both parties had been arrested for domestic violence against each other. But it all came to a head with this 911 call.
But kind of thing. So I fell asleep and I woke up and he was dead in the table. I don't know what happened.
Boone called the police in a panic.
Yes, like he had like light coming out of his mouth, and I don't know what he had. But he
This is what Boone claims happened.
We had a bottle of wine last night. Okay. So then it's like we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay. So
With Spitster.
and it's like we decided to play hide and seek, right? Okay.
Spitster.
So he gets in the suitcase.
They're briefly interrupted, then continue their chat on the sidewalk.
And at some point, you put him in the suitcase? No, he got in the suitcase. So he thought it'd be funny to be put in the suitcase. So I was like, okay, well, I'm going to joke with you and I'll zip you up and make him, squirm a little bit, whatever it is. But then I fell asleep.
Where did you fall asleep at?
Upstairs.
In your bedroom?
Yes.
Okay.
Totally forgetting that he was in the suitcase still.
Okay.
She said she only realized her mistake the next morning.
Yes, I was awake. But then I finally decided to come downstairs at like 12:30-ish, whatever it is. And I was like, dude, I forgot he was in the suitcase. And he wasn't moving, nothing was happening.
Jesus
So I
goddamn fucking
took
Christ.
him out and started doing CPR on him.
But Sarah Boone lied. And when police went through her phone, that's when they found the incriminating evidence.
Jesus goddamn
In the video,
fucking
Boone
Christ.
laughs at Torres as he slowly runs out of air.
I can't breathe it.
Yeah, that's when you really shook me.
Sarah.
During the autopsy, police found even more concerning evidence.
He also had, like on the left side of his forehead, he had basically bruising, and on like his head, his skull. I have no idea.
They found evidence of blunt force trauma to the head, skull, shoulders, and back. In that claim, Boone may have been telling the truth. Due to the location of the injuries, police theorized that Boone actually locked Torres in the suitcase while upstairs, then pushed him down the stairs when he was still trapped inside. That would also explain why the suitcase was facing upside down in the video. Allegedly, it was taken just after Torres rolled down the stairs. As if she knew she were trapped, Boone changed her strategy.
I think good. I don't think you'll understand. He comes at me all the time. He comes at me. So either I
goddamn fucking Christ.
Or try to go upstairs and go to sleep.
She switched her focus from the night of the murder to Jorge's history of domestic violence, not disclosing her own arrests.
At one point, I started documenting everything. Okay. So you will see in my pictures, split fingers, split forehead, split my nose. I've got this.
But when the police confronted her with the suitcase video, she played dumb.
No, I don't remember that.
For everything you did to me. For everything you did to me.
But investigators were done with being nice.
I didn't kill him.
You left him there to keep him alive.
I didn't mean to leave him there. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
You got up and then walked away. How is that not intentionally leaving him there?
Because I'm looking at the hole, knowing that it's there.
The fucker beneath that goddamn key right
He
here.
doesn't. You don't go check on him.
Son of a bitch.
You say you're up for 30 minutes, and he doesn't come up. You don't go down and check on him?
I'm in the bed.
Oh, I'm fixing to stick my
Then
dick
got
in that
even more
cord.
defensive.
Again?
Son of a bitch.
You do it.
Suck my dick, bitch.
After the interrogation, Boone gave up trying to convince the officers. Considering her obvious frustration during that interrogation, Boone had a surprising reaction to her mandatory prison stay while waiting for trial.
You know, everyone supposes that this is one of the worst experiences of my life, and it's actually been one of my greatest.
Christ. Jesus
If I were not beaten to death, I was going to work myself to death on the outside, and I never had time to get back into my Bible and to pray and to be with the Lord.
However, she claimed Jorge's sickness was the reason she let him suffocate.
I forgive myself for falling in love with the monster, and no matter how grotesque he may become, I still loved him, hoped, and forgave. I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stop loving him. In all of it and still.
Next, she made a subtle ploy for pity.
My apology is I ask his forgiveness and that he looks for me at the gates of heaven so I can tell him how sorry I am, endlessly, and that I never stop loving him. In all of it and still.
Goddamn fucking Christ.
Next, she made a subtle ploy for pity.
My apology is profuse and ceaseless. Allow me please to brush off the mud, wipe the blood off of my face and fix the cuts in my skin. I ask for understanding in what really happened and for how long.
She begged the jury to find her innocent. But while waiting for him to deliberate, Boone made another request to the court.
Ms. Boone's request for snacks. Your tennis motion is denied. Ms. Boone is being provided all the same services as to any other inmate.
Boone would have to go hungry, and she made her dissatisfaction loud and clear. But if she thought that was disappointing, wait until the judge reads her sentence.
Court pronounces the sentence as follows. Ms. Boone sentences you to life.
Boone will spend life behind bars for her crimes.
Jesus goddamn fucking. Suck my dick, you stupid bitch. Well, spit, 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 you stupid fucking bitch. Now take that goddamn knife, son of a bitch. Oh, you fucking son of a bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Spit, 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 spit. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my motherfucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Get that goddamn whore out here. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. You stupid fucking bitch. Suck my... God damn it. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my fucking dick, bitch. Suck my dick, bitch. Suck my fucking dick, you goddamn bitch. Suck my fucking dick. Suck my dick, bitch. 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 God damn it. Suck my fucking goddamn dick. Suck my dick, bitch. Jesus goddamn fucking Christ. Oh, fucking Christ. Christ or fuck. Christ or fuck. Christ or fuck.
He thought.
Christ or goddamn fuck. Christ or fuck.
For a while that it was rough. But lately I've been doing better than the last 4 cold Decembers.
God fucking damn it. Christ,
I see my family every month. I found a girl my parents love. She'll come and stay the night, and I think I might have it all.
Now fuck up and take that goddamn.
And I thank God every day for the girl He sent my way. But I don't know the things He gives, He can take away. And I hold you every night. That's a feeling I wanna get used to. But there's no man as terrified as the man who stands to lose you. Oh, I hope I don't lose.
Christ or fuck.
Please stay. I want you.
Goddamn fucking goddamn Christ. Goddamn Jesus Christ and goddamn fuck. Christ the Holy Ghost fuck. Christ the fuck. Christ the goddamn fucking goddamn fuck. Christ the fuck. You goddamn Christ the fuck. Christ the fuck.
I found my mind, I'm singing.
Christ the fuck.
It's been a while, but I'm finding my faith. If everything's good and it's great, why do I sit and wait till it's gone? Oh, I tell you, I know I've got enough.
Christ the goddamn. Christ the Holy Ghost fuck. Christ the fuck. Christ the fuck. You stupid fucking son of a bitch.
I want you.
No, you're cute. Ooh, I take that back. You're cute. She's a female. She's cute.
They say the holy water's watered down. This town's lost its faith. Our colors will fade. Eventually, so if our time is running out. Day after day, we'll make the Monday
because she's cute.
Oh my, oh my love. I take a look at you, take me out of the ordinary. I'll chain you down to the legendary.
Stupid!
Stay drunk on the ride. The angels up in the clouds are jealous, know what we found. So this will be ordinary. You're gonna be kissing the crowd of a sanctuary. Let it be what you thought. Oh Lord, turn me down. The angels up in the clouds are jealous, know what we found. Hopeless, hallelujah.
Crushed her fuck.
This side of heaven's gate.
Crushed her fuck.
Breathing, take my breath away.
Crushed her fuck.
Oh my, take me
Crushed her
out of the ordinary. I'll just lay me down, so get better. On the edge of the night.
Crushed the goddamn fuck.
The angels up in the clouds are jealous of what we found.
Stupid! Crushed it, fuck. I fucking her.
What you waiting for? Something physical. I can do this by myself. Without you, there ain't no place for me to hide. Without you, there's no way I can sleep tonight. I do for a little bit of peace and quiet. Without you, I keep slipping in a bad dream. There's no you and I.
Crushed her, fuck. Fucking cunt. Man, none of this shit is worth fucking listening to. If I gotta listen to this top 40 shit to find a fucking go on the Billboard to find a song suitable for fucking Joanne. This fucking cuts. This shit sounds like cunt. That's just the name of that fucking thing. This music sounds like cunt. Fucking crushed it. Fuck. Crushed it. Fuck. What is this? Crush the fucking shit. Abacus fucking now. Crush the fucking shit. Crush the fuck. Crush the goddamn fuck. Crush the fuck. Crush the fuck. Now fucking to take that goddamn nut like fucking home. You, my dear sir, are just fucked up. Some bitch. I like this song. Crush the fuck. I'll chase that goddamn
as it
whore
can't have any energy, thus cannot be powerful to any degree. Oh, I'm sorry. This is one of those special pleading incidences, isn't it? It would normally be true that anything outside of time, space, matter, and energy must also have no time, no space, no matter, and no energy, and that such a being having the power to do anything should be impossible, but...
Well, first of all, through God, all things are possible, so jot that down.
The timeless nature of the origin of all things is another piece of evidence for God.
I'm sorry. What? I thought that maybe by breaking in when I did and invalidating his space-time matter-energy argument, I ended up maybe cutting off his point, so I went back through and rewatched it. But, nope. There really wasn't a point there at all. Just the claim that since he views his God as outside of time, therefore his God doesn't need time in order to do anything, therefore it actually counts as a point in the favor of his God? Which, of course, is not how that works at all. That's like saying that my pet unicorn is invisible, so the fact that you can't see any unicorn standing next to me is actually proof that my pet unicorn exists. Like, that's laughably stupid, Mike. If you wanted to say that your God can make decisions and act without needing time in order to do it, so that challenge doesn't disprove your God, fine. You can try to make that argument. It's still flawed, but you can at least make it. But you damn sure can't say then that since you conceive of your God as existing outside of time, that no time existing before the Big Bang is actually evidence for your God's existence. It most certainly is not. But you can't even do that because saying your God is outside of time and thus doesn't need time in order to do things is an insufficient answer. Hey, my hand exists outside of Elon Musk's limo. Therefore, my hand doesn't need to be inside Elon Musk's limo in order to punch him in the face when he gets into it. Like, tell me you understand how absurd that is. No, of course, you don't get it, so let me explain it. Decision-making and action are things that require temporality in order for them to take place. There is a time when you haven't decided something, but then you take time to think about it, and there comes a time when you decide and resolve to do something.
God damn it.
Then, after that time, there is a time when you begin to carry out the action, and then a time when you complete the action. All decision-making and actions are processes that require time in order to happen. To say that your God can make decisions outside of time and take actions outside of time is to colossally misunderstand the very nature of time. Just like my fist needs to be in Elon Musk's limo in order to punch him in the face while he's inside it, your God has to be in time in order to do things that require time to happen.
Number 4. The Abrahamic God cannot exist because it wasn't the first God to be created. There are other gods that have been proclaimed to exist before this God. They can't all be true, so if we can deny the existence of one of these gods, we can use the same method to deny them all. This one is seriously confused. It assumes that God was created when Abraham existed, but that assumes atheism to prove atheism. Then it says that if all gods aren't real, then no God is real. That's like saying fake Van Goghs prove there are no real Van Goghs.
I'll concede this one. Frankly, I think this wasn't a great atheist challenge to begin with. And your reputation that admitting that there are fake Van Goghs doesn't mean that there aren't any real Van Goghs is actually a good reputation. It's true that just because there are other God concepts, and even older God concepts, that doesn't automatically mean in and of itself that your God concept is false. But I do think there was a glimmer of a salient point in here that was just inarticulately expressed. And that would be that there are lots of other God concepts and faith traditions, some going back even longer than Christianity, and all of which claim to have a stronger and better reasoning and evidence for their God concept over yours. So why should we hold yours as paramount over those other God concepts? I mean, I know you would claim that you have evidence and reasoning that sets your faith apart from theirs, but they claim the same. Claiming your religion and your God is as false as you claim that theirs is. Frankly, I agree with all of you when it comes to saying that the other guy's religions are false and that the other guy's God is fake. And also, while there being fake Van Goghs doesn't mean that there are no real Van Goghs, true, there being fake Bigfoot accounts doesn't mean that there are real Bigfoot accounts. And they very well could all be fake. As well with all God concepts.
Number 5. God either allows the devil to exist and is an accomplice, or it isn't an all-powerful God. An all-powerful and loving God wouldn't allow the devil to exist. Isaiah 45 verse 7, King James Version. Many reasonable explanations have been offered as to why God allows evil. And if they are even possibly true, then this objection fails. And that's why scholars today promote this objection. On Isaiah 45:7, where it says God created evil, I have a whole video on that.
No good explanations for the problem of evil exist. This goes back to what I said in my intro, that Mike and other apologists like him think that they have good explanations and answers to all atheist challenges, and they may be sufficient for their own satisfaction, but they all fail. Not just fail to be satisfactory answers to atheists like myself, but they logically fail. Not that Mike bothered to give any answers to the challenge of evil in the first place, he just claimed that there were answers that exist. And while, sure, parsing through the lengthy points on both sides of the problem of evil argument would take much longer, and I know he's trying to keep this video short and pithy, it still remains that Mike did not address an atheist challenge by just saying, oh, there are answers for that, I'm just not going to give you any. Moving on. No, common theistic retorts to the problem of evil include things like the idea that God has moral justifications for allowing evil, that we as limited mortal beings just aren't equipped to understand.
That God has morally sufficient reasons for permitting the natural and moral evil in the world.
Another is the notion that by allowing evil, there is an even greater good that will ultimately be achieved as a result. Again, that we are too small and limited to foresee and to understand. But of course, both of these excuses, and all other theistic excuses in order to get around the problem of evil, run headlong into the same problem. If the God you proclaim has the power to make the world and everything in it any way he chooses, including the power to make the world an evil-free utopia, and still achieve all of the good and all of the benefits that he wants without requiring the evil in order to make it happen, and this God was indeed totally benevolent and wanting the best for all of his creations, then he would have made things that way. Evil existing would have to mean that any creator God either doesn't have the power to avoid it, doesn't have the knowledge of how to avoid it, or doesn't have the desire to avoid it. Any one of which would mean that he isn't the God that Christians describe and conceive of. Or, of course, there's just no God at all.
Number 6. The God of the Bible is jealous of other gods. This proves that this God is not the only one. With multiple choices only shows that there is no reason to choose just one. If a God were true, there would be no other options. I don't even know where to begin with this one. First, if you're taking the Bible as true, which this objection depends on, then you realize that these other gods are at worst fake, or at best demons and lesser spiritual beings, ontologically nothing like God Almighty. And number 2, on God's jealousy, since the worship of false gods requires people to treat those gods as if they're real by sacrificing to false gods, going to temples, doing sexual rituals, God can be jealous for those people with or without those gods being real. Number 3, you're literally taking a warning passage about worshiping false gods and using it as an excuse to reject the true God.
I better stop listening before you did.
Was anyone else like me and just kept tuning out during all of that? I mean, it was only 30 seconds or so of Mike's response to that challenge, and it was still a slog to pay attention to it. Well, anywho's it. So, there was a lot wrong in your response to that one, Mike. For starters, you criticized the challenge as assuming Christianity is true. Well, yeah, because this challenge is trying to meet you where you're at. Sure, as an atheist, I don't believe in any of these other gods any more than I believe in yours, but this is what's called an internal critique. It's assuming your position of the Bible being true in order to show the flaws inherent to it. Now, in terms of these other gods being lesser spiritual beings, according to who? Oh, Yahweh, right? Do you think he might have had a vested interest in insisting that he was the tippy-top god numero uno within his own holy book? Also, this is an example of where biblical and Jewish scholarship go against common Christian teachings. Within Christianity, it's insisted and reiterated again and again that there's only one God.
God damn it.
Not one top-of-the-heap god and then a bunch of lesser gods.
Damn it.
Within common Christian mythology, there's God, angels, demons, and immortal human souls. That's about it. Now, there may be some variations within those groups, like different types of angels and different types of demons and such, but that's it. But if we go back into Jewish antiquity that Christianity grew out of, there are accounts of other gods. Not demons, not angels, gods. Like gods, for example, like Moloch, or Baal, or Dagon, or Asherah, just to name a few. A whole pantheon of which Yahweh was just one.
God damn it.
And what seems to be the case is simply that the branch that favored Yahweh just rose to prominence and overshadowed all the rest, if not warred and genocided them out of existence. And modern Christianity just expanded out of what was essentially an ethereal popularity contest. So, internally, Christianity seems to be full of it to insist that there's only ever existed one God when its own tradition speaks of several. An inconvenient truth that you'll never hear during Sunday sermons today, with them wanting to keep that little nugget away from the minds of the congregation.
God damn it.
Gee, I wonder why they wouldn't want to admit that historical reality. And then externally, it seems that one fake religion that was really no better or different than any of the other fake religions won the religion wars, and now is trying to rewrite history to exclude all of its contemporaries.
Number 7. There is no evidence that spirit energy exists. So we can conclude that psychics, ghosts, and gods are non-existent. Otherwise, God has nothing to be made of. Christianity does not depend on the existence of spiritual energy any more than it depends on the existence of Santa's flying sleigh. God isn't made of something that is part of creation. If he was, it would actually be a good reason to reject belief in God in the Christian sense.
This was a complete non-answer. And the fact that you did it with a chuckle in your voice and a smile on your face as if it were ludicrous in its very conception just showcases how eager you were to cast aside what was, frankly, one of the stronger challenges in this video. You basically just devolved into quibbling over the use of the word energy instead of actually addressing the point that was being made. Just take out the frickin' word energy from the original challenge and it still means the same thing. Here, I'll reword it. There is no evidence that spirits exist, so we can conclude that psychics, ghosts, and gods are non-existent. Otherwise, God has nothing to be made of. There, is that better? That was exactly what the original post said, I just removed the word energy. So how about answering that, Mike? Oh, because you really don't want to and intentionally avoided the challenge. Because while Christianity may not be dependent on the existence of energy, it damn sure is dependent on the existence of spirits. I mean, Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit, for fuck's sake. The point that this challenge was making was that there is no evidence that anything spiritual exists, insofar as no reason to believe in ethereal, incorporeal beings, or any spiritual realm, or that psychic abilities, including visions, or premonitions, or prophecies, are real, or that ghosts, which are effectively human souls, are real, or that beings believed to be entirely of the spirit, like angels or demons or gods, are real. With no conclusive evidence for the existence of such a thing as spirit, only conjecture, hearsay, and inconclusive accounts, then there's no justifiable reason to believe in such things. And that would include your God concept. That was the challenge. That was obviously what was being posited. And that's what you dodge like a greased pig at a county fair.
Suck my dick.
Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
Number 8. There is no such thing as nothing. For nothing to exist would cause it to be something. Creationists believe that God created the universe out of literally nothing.
Suck my dick, bitch.
Oh my. The only people I've actually heard say that nothing is something are atheists. Like, look at physicist Lawrence Krauss, who likes to promote that view.
But they refuse to accept the idea that nothing might be a physical quantity.
But since we agree that nothing's really nothing, the universe appearing from nothing is powerful evidence for a transcendent creator God.
Yet again, this was a complete non-answer. We don't agree that nothing is nothing. That's the whole point of this challenge. Secular science does not posit that the universe came from nothing. Secular science does not even acquiesce to the idea of nothing being a physical possibility. As I often say, the Big Bang was not the explosion of the universe out of nothing. It is the expansion of the current presentation of our universe from an initial state of high density and temperature.
Dick.
High density and temperature is not nothing. And you say that the universe coming from nothing is strong proof for the existence of a creator God? Except, there is no proof that the universe came from nothing. Certainly that is not what Big Bang cosmology posits. There is absolutely no evidence that there ever was any kind of philosophical nothing that Christians insist God created the universe out of.
My fucking dick.
You even showed a clip of Lawrence Krauss arguing that the kind of nothing that he speaks about in his book, A Universe from Nothing, is not really nothing, but is still something. So, if your faith requires everything coming from nothing in order to prove your God, and all of the evidence at our disposal points to there never having been nothing to begin with, in fact, all of the evidence at our disposal showcases that everything that makes up the universe today always existed in a different, highly energetic and condensed form, then that would seem to serve as a strong evidence that your God doesn't exist.
Number 9. This is not a finely tuned world created with us in mind. The sun gives you cancer, most of the water's undrinkable, and diseases run rampant. If there was an intelligent designer, there wouldn't be any mistakes. That's like saying that cars aren't fine-tuned driving machines because they can cause car accidents. Fine-tuning is present in the universe because the odds are astronomical that any intelligent life could exist without it being just the way it is. But fine-tuning doesn't mean perfectly safe and without danger.
No. The odds are not astronomical that the conditions for intelligent life can exist without intelligent design. There's two ways of looking at that line of thinking.
God damn it.
One, the universal
Jesus
constants
fucking
like
Christ.
gravity and the nuclear force, and two, the specific planetary conditions required for biological life to thrive.
Jesus fucking
As to the
Christ.
universal constants, you cannot possibly calculate the odds of the constants of the universe being anything other than what they are. Because we don't even know that it is possible for the constants of the universe to be different from what they are. We don't have the faintest idea of how to change them, or even if they can be changed, or if physical existence itself insists that they be the values that they are. So you can't say that the odds of them being what they are astronomically small. Now, what you can say is astronomically small is the odds for any planet to develop the exact conditions that our conception of biological life requires in order to thrive.
God.
For a planet to have the exact right temperature and gravity and liquid water, atmosphere, orbit around a star, as well as distance from it, etc. All these things and lots more are required for what we view as biological life. And that is certainly rare. Some cosmological estimates put it around 1 in 10 billion, meaning that only 1 in 10 billion planets would ever develop Earth-like conditions. Boy, that's exceedingly rare, isn't it? Except, when you calculate all the other numbers, there are believed to be approximately 200 billion planets in one average-sized galaxy. That would mean that there could be about 20 or so other Earth-like planets within our own Milky Way galaxy, if not more. And then, there are calculated to be about 2 trillion galaxies in the observable universe. Now that would calculate out to roughly 32 trillion Earth-like planets in the observable universe, making our planet just one of 32 trillion Earth-like planets. Suddenly that doesn't seem so far-fetched now, does it?
Number 10. Damn it. Evolution is obviously true. This means that we weren't created by magic and are somehow superior to the animal kingdom. No creator, no God. Evolution, if you do accept it, is just another reason to believe in God. If an explosion can make all this through natural processes, then it was an explosion that was very highly specialized and engineered by an intelligence that wanted this to happen.
You are a babbling fool, and we have built a temple to madness.
Goddamn Christ.
Mike, what in the blue hell does the Big Bang have to do with evolution? I have seriously rewatched that answer 10 times, trying to see how he connected those two, and it's just not there. There is no progression from one thought to the next. It's like saying, if you like nachos, then you have to be a fan of Final Fantasy because rap music uses drum beats. Like, that's the level of interconnectedness Mike's final response had. Not just to the initial challenge that he was addressing, but to the other words in his own sentence. Cut and simple, evolution being true and the proven way that Homo sapiens arose on this planet invalidates the Garden of Eden myth about God creating Adam and Eve from dirt and ribs, and it blows the entire creationism account out of the water. That being one of the myths that the entire idea of God, I have seriously rewatched that answer 10 times, trying to see how he connected those two, and it's just not there. There is no progression from one thought to the next. It's like saying, if you like nachos, then you have to be a fan of Final Fantasy because rap music uses drum beats. Like, that's the level of interconnectedness Mike's final response had. Not just to the initial challenge that he was addressing, but to the other words in his own sentence.
Now fuck him over.
Cut and simple, evolution being true and the proven way that Homo sapiens arose on this planet invalidates the Garden of Eden myth about God creating Adam and Eve from dirt and rib, and it blows the entire creationism account out of the water. That being one of the myths that the entire idea of God, human existence, original sin, and the great fall of the physical world and the reason why evil persists is built around. And this means that it being false is a significant blow to the entire belief system, and it's one that needs to be thoroughly addressed. That has nothing to do with the Big Bang. The Big Bang occurred 13.8 billion years ago. Evolution, as a process for the diversification of life, didn't even start until there was life for it to act upon, which didn't happen until about 4 billion years ago. Nearly 10 billion years of time separate the Big Bang from evolution. Not to mention your mischaracterization of the Big Bang as an explosion. Ahem. The Big Bang was not the explosion of the universe out of nothing. It is the expansion of the current presentation of our universe from an initial state of high density and temperature. So, yeah, I would say this was another non-answer, and just seemed years of time separate the Big Bang from evolution. Not to mention your mischaracterization of the Big Bang as an explosion. Ahem. The Big Bang was not the explosion of the universe out of nothing. It is the expansion of the current presentation of our universe from an initial state of high density and temperature. So, yeah, I would say this was another non-answer, and just seemed another attempt by Mike to dodge the actual meat of the challenge and obfuscate off into something unrelated to the actual challenge. But this was worse. I mean, this was just incoherent babble.
Suck my dick.
This ran close to being the kind of nonsensical ramblings of someone who's suffered a stroke.
You aren't sailing that
You suck my dick, bitch.
These questions are worth their investments. To end the blue
Suck my dick,
luxury
bitch.
and sparking a good lizard can only make tears fall in hindsight. Puddles do not ask for why not.
So that's how I did. Hopefully I defused those 10 issues, 10 proofs before the bomb blew up. I don't know, maybe we're all atheists now.
No, you didn't, and yes, we are. But yeah, that was Mike Winger's rather pedestrian dodging of what were largely valid challenges and criticisms of Christian beliefs. And this is a perfect encapsulation of how apologists will rhetorically dance and dodge and deceive and hop, pop, stop, drop, shut them down, open up shop, in order to avoid actually addressing real counter-apologetic reasoning. I would venture to say a good half of these 10 challenges Mike didn't even bother to address at all, and just went off on some tangent that had nothing to do with the challenge to begin with. Such as when he got all flustered about the use of the term spiritual energy, and then went about laughing as he debunked the idea of God being made of energy, instead of addressing the real point of the non-existence of spirits. When he did address the actual challenge, he tended to use gross misunderstandings and mischaracterizations of the physical world, like insisting that everyone agrees that the universe exploded out of nothing, which of course is absolutely not what the science shows, and not what anyone aside from creationists believe. Hell, I'd venture to say even a good portion of the religious don't believe it. And even though not all of these challenges were absolute zingers, Some were inartfully worded and were tackling aspects of Christian faith that are, by their very nature, unfalsifiable, without actually calling them out as unfalsifiable as a reason to reject them. But Mike's tap dance away from actually addressing them was far worse. I've seen low-rent apologists with not a fraction of the subscriber count that Mike has do a much better job of actually being an honest interlocutor and genuinely addressing salient criticisms of theistic concepts. But hey, maybe that's exactly why Mike is such a popular YouTuber. He gives examples of how to skirt around any challenge to the Christian faith while chuckling while doing so to show that the challenge seemed silly and unsubstantial in the first place. And really, isn't that all that most believers are really looking for with their apologetics? Just strategies for how best to avoid tough questions and reaffirmations that they are super-duper right to believe what they want to believe? But if Mike is the standard bearer for how to avoid critical thinking and actually engage with challenges to your worldview, then the bar is truly sitting on the floor. And so that is where we'll end things for today. So thanks for watching, everyone. Don't forget to like this video, comment, and subscribe so you'll always be notified when a new video comes out. Check me out on Twitter, Blue Sky, and Patreon if you'd like to support my work directly. My Teespring if you want some Plinky merchandise. All that link below in the description. Special shout out to my most recent super thankers here on YouTube, Salvi Mike and Autumnal Fling. And with that said, until next time, I'm Professor Plink reminding you to keep striving for greater understanding. It's the best way to get wherever you want to go.
Well, hello everyone.
You stupid motherfucking bitch! You should have taken that fucking.
Today we'll be discussing
Bishop. I couldn't
Orthodox
take that goddamn
of Scripture. Yeah, so thank you for joining me today, Bart.
Bitch.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you for joining me.
Son of a bitch.
So there's a lot of different manuscript families for the New Testament, and kind of just to get us started. How many different kinds of manuscript traditions are we dealing with here? That eventually lead to variation, significant variation in the text.
Well,
so you know, fucking dick.
The manuscript situation of the New Testament is really complicated because we have over 5,000 manuscripts, 5,600, 5,700 manuscripts, and these are all handwritten copies made by scribes in centuries, and they have many differences among them. And scholars who are trying to figure out what the text of the New Testament originally said, what Mark actually wrote, or what Paul actually wrote, all they have to go on are the surviving manuscripts, with a few other kinds of evidence. But if they all have differences,
stupid fucking bitch.
Where the differences are mistakes
stupid fucking bitch.
Where scribes made intentional changes, and what the original
stupid fuck.
But the problem is that if you've got, for any one passage, suppose you've got 1,000 manuscripts.
Suck my fucking dick.
You can't really very well look at every manuscript to decide which word is it here. And so what scholars started doing a long time ago, a couple of centuries ago, is that they started realizing that some manuscripts are very much like other manuscripts, and that you don't have to look at every manuscript. You can look at what the basic manuscript of that group of manuscripts is. And so scholars started devising textual families, which is, I think, what you're referring to, families of manuscripts or texts or types of manuscript. And for a long time, it was thought that there were 3 or 4 major families of manuscripts. And so these families are where it's kind of like a genealogical tree, where you've got people who are on your father's side and things on your mother's side, and you can do kind of the genealogical tree, and you can do genealogical trees of manuscripts. And so that's kind of the rough situation. But I've got to say, for people listening, some people may know that modern scholars over the last 20 years have been getting away from the idea
that we should be even interested in these families of manuscripts.
Suck my fucking dick, bitch.
And so
Suck
it's
my
a,
dick, bitch.
it's difficult to explain simply how it proceeds now. But the way it used to proceed, when I wrote my book, The Orthodox Corruption of Scripture, we were pretty sure there were these groups of manuscripts, and that helped us to evaluate which reading is probably the original reading and which one changes depending on which groups of manuscripts had them.
Stupid fucking cunt.
So we'll start off with what's going on with the polemical tractates in the 2nd and 3rd century CE? What do we know about them?
So the deal is that these manuscripts that we have were all written by scribes, and if you have a manuscript that was written, say a scribe copied a manuscript in the 12th century, well, the 12th century manuscript that he's copying was made earlier than that, and suppose it was made 200 years earlier. Well, that is based on a manuscript that was made earlier, based on a manuscript made earlier. We don't actually have very many manuscripts from the 2nd and 3rd Christian centuries, but ultimately, the later manuscripts all go back to manuscripts like that we no longer have. And it looks like almost all the changes we have in our surviving manuscripts were changes that were made in that earlier period, in the 2nd and 3rd centuries. Later scribes often would make mistakes, obviously, and they'd leave out a word, or they'd misspell a word, or they'd leave out a line, or they would do things to change it. But the significant changes appear to have been made early in the history of the copying of the text. And so that's why it matters why scribes might be changing the text when these major changes were being made. And one of the major issues is that scribes in the 2nd and 3rd centuries were faced with all sorts of theological controversies about who God is and who Christ is in relationship to God. Was Jesus a man, or was he a God? Was he a God instead of a man instead of a God? Was he both things? How could he be both things? Scribes were in the context of theological debates about these issues, and the issues were being talked about in relationship to the Bible. So the scribes who are copying the Bible are being influenced by these debates when they're copying the Bible. And part of the point of my book, The Orthodox Corruption of Scripture, is that they actually modified their manuscripts in places in light of these controversies that were going on, so that the later manuscripts often will reflect earlier debates about things involving theology.
When Mark's gospel uses the Septuagint, and he talks about what Isaiah says about prepare the way for the Lord, prepare the way of the Lord. What's Mark's goal there? And are there alterations in that text, that specific part of the text, in other manuscripts?
Yeah, so Mark is beginning his gospel by trying to emphasize that John the Baptist was the forerunner of the Messiah, and that this is all predicted according to Scripture. It's part of the theme you find throughout all the Gospels, that the coming of Jesus was part of God's plan, and that it had been predicted by the prophets. And so John the Baptist appears first thing in Mark's Gospel, right off the bat. There's no birth narrative. Mark introduces his Gospel by saying it's the beginning of the Gospel of Jesus Christ, and then he launches into this John the Baptist showing up, and John the Baptist being a fulfillment of the prophet Isaiah, who's predicting that there'll be a forerunner for the Messiah. And so John is preaching, and Mark tells us that the preaching entails, this idea that he's the forerunner. And there's an interesting textual change that happens, because you have this saying there that prepare the way of the Lord, make straight the paths of our God.
God damn it.
And the question is, did Mark want to quote it this way so that John seems to be indicating that Christ is God? Or is he calling the Lord, or is he calling him God? If you call Jesus Lord, that's not a problem, because the word Lord can refer to God, but it can also refer to your master if you're a slave, or it can refer to your employer if you're employed, or it can refer to your husband. It's just somebody who has authority over you. So if Jesus is Lord, it just means he has authority. But if you call him God, then you're calling him God. And Mark elsewhere doesn't call Jesus God. You might debate whether Mark sees him as God or not, but he doesn't ever call Jesus God. And so that would be a place where he's doing it. So the question is, did the scribes change this so that Mark does call Jesus God? That Jesus is Lord, it just means he has authority. But if you call him God, then you're calling him God. And Mark elsewhere doesn't call Jesus God. You might debate whether Mark sees him as God or not, but he doesn't ever call Jesus God. And so that would be a place where he's doing it. So the question is, did the scribes change this so that Mark does call Jesus God? At the very beginning of the gospel. And that's the kind of change
so hoping
you see in our manuscripts, because scribes sometimes wanted to emphasize Jesus is fully divine. And the one way to emphasize that is to change the text where he's not called God, and put the word God in there so that he is called
God. You stupid fucker.
All of her textual changes to the very beginning of Mark's Gospel